Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we've hit level 100 for the 10-star Kizuna Clash against Hawkins. And in today's video, I'm going to take my full batch teams through the content and have a chat about the actual content itself, what replacement units you might bring, and how this Kizuna differs from a lot of other Kizunas that we've had in the past. So, to start it off, we're going to start off with Sai, and we'll make our way to Dex. Obviously, with the third part of the Super Sugo verse, Super Sugo Fest, we have 5 separate boosters. And all 5 of these characters do give you extra Super Boss tokens. They give you extra regular boss tokens. And obviously, they are all rainbow damage, booster stats, and all that fun stuff. Even the support rare recruit in is also giving you 1.1 times Super Boss tokens, as well as regular tokens. Now, this is unheard of. This is absurd, and it's a lot. As you guys probably saw before we jumped in, I'm sitting at like 2,700 Super Boss tokens. I have used about 400 or so to actually do some runs, test out some teams, and do some stuff there. So that's a lot of Super Boss tokens. That's a lot of Super Boss tokens, man. Plus, like, if people are dropping more potions and doing even more runs, then obviously that is just going to continually climb as the event goes on and on and on. I'm only 24 hours as of this recording into the Kizuna, so obviously we still have like 3-4 days where you're getting your regular stamina. You can obviously do more runs. You can use the suicide strat for people to save you and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's very interesting to see how many Super Boss tokens people will walk away with this particular time, and how many Super Boss clears actually get done because of that. So very, very interesting stuff. Now, as you can see here, Puru and Frogtoes basically just take care of the final stage for the side boss. Fugar takes care of the second stage. If you guys don't have Fugar, you can basically just bring anyone that is going to rotate your orbs. A really, really good option is something like Odin and Roger combination, as you guys saw in my previous video, as well as just anyone that can give you like a full bottle Wano slots and lock them like Hiyori. That's definitely going to work out as well. If you guys are missing Frogtoes, you basically just want to bring someone that can remove blind. The Pururu unit is going to set defense to 0. That's going to allow you to get past the defense up, I believe, is on this particular stage. For the full batch team, we actually have a super tandem, which is great. With the Giants, and then because we have a full board of Tandemos thanks to the Giants, and a final tap thanks to Shanks, we can actually do quite a bit of damage. Now, this particular team, it's not going to last forever. You can't use an orb buff on the final stage, so that's a bit of a problem. And because of that, it is going to drastically diminish the damage numbers that you can get. Again, the assist feature is there for a reason, and people are going to be utilizing that to get the max amount of Super Boss tokens, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the top alliances look with the amount of Super Boss runs they get. As you can see there, we're getting 33 Super Boss tokens every single run, which is actually ridiculous. On top of that, we're getting 58 tickets. Now, the tickets are a big thing that I wanted to talk about as we dive into the strength fight. The tickets growth has been ridiculously low, and they did put out a statement that was declaring that they are going to give more rewards, more tickets, and make it easier for people to farm up the box 7. However, from what I can see with this particular Super Boss, I don't know if that's the case. I don't buy into the fact that this is making it easier for players. If anything, I believe it's making it harder for players, because as you can see there, with before the boost, I was getting 16 tickets. Now, at the very start of the Kizuna, at level 1, we were getting 10 tickets. So the fact that from level 1 to level 100 is only a 6-ticket growth is absolutely absurd. Now, most of the time, we will not be in a situation where we have this many boosters. 9 times out of 10, you are going to run a friend captain of the boosted legend, provided you have a decent friends list, of course. But that is going to be the name of the game, to try and get the most out of all of the boxes moving forward. Now, the problem with the boxes are Kizuna insignias have become more valuable. As of this particular Kizuna, they are no longer giving out training potions. We will not be getting any more Kizuna potions to replenish our stamina, and instead, they're actually putting them in the Kizuna exchange shop. Now, we don't exactly know how much they're going to cost, but this is going to change the dynamic of the game mode so drastically, because obviously some of these higher end alliances, people that like to grind, have been playing since day 1, are going to have so many Kizuna insignias, and will be able to just buy out the Kizuna potions every single month, depending if they're capped or anything like that. Just talking about the strength fight for a little bit. There is stun. Arlong is a perfect character for this fight. He sets defense to 0 and he removes the stun. He's a perfect option if you guys do not have either Pururu or Fugar. As you can see, we used our Frog Toes on turn 2 to get around the remove sound effects. Not an essential character at all to use. You can just sort of tap through with a ship that is helping you guys out. But any character that has the sailor ability to remove sound effects is great. Plus, you have the marker no support if you have Shanks. You can slap on that. As your captain, you don't need the despair like in the last one. Shanks, as a friend captain, obviously is going to give you the double conditional boost, and I would highly recommend doing that. But it's not something that you are drastically going to need, like you guys saw in the previous fight. So let's break through the tandem orb barrier. You do want to bring someone that can give you a full body tandem orbs. Which is going to be, what's his name? Fubar, which is great. Otherwise, you're going to have to find a character that can do that, or just remove 2 turns of barrier. That is also an option. You do need to tank a death hit, so just be mindful of that. But as I was saying about the tickets, we're not necessarily going to be in a position where we have this many tickets, and trying to get all of those Kizuna insignias on top of the Super Evolution for the month and all the rewards out of the boxes, to me, this seems like it's going to be much harder for players, which is definitely a downside. Now, Super Boss, there never is an issue getting to box 7, but when we have those off Kizunas that don't have the Super Boss at your disposal, then unfortunately it's going to be very, very hard to actually get to that spot. So I don't really know what they're thinking in terms of increasing the tickets or declaring that they're increasing tickets or doing anything like that, because from what I can see, if anything, they have decreased the ticket growth. So maybe it's just this Super Boss Kizuna, but if you guys have any information or have any thoughts, let them be known in the comment section below, because hopefully they will hear this and read your thoughts and opinions and see how you guys are feeling. So as for the scaling of the Super Boss, this particular time does seem to be drastically lower. The Super Boss HP threshold hit 1 trillion around boss level 35 rather than boss level about 27, 28 like it has been over the last Super Boss Kizunas, which is a little bit interesting too, because not exactly sure how that sort of scaling effect actually works. But it is a little bit of a nice change, because that will obviously affect all of the boss levels moving forward. But at the end of the day, it's all about killing the bosses, not exactly about how much bosses they actually have. And with the 1 trillion damage cap still being a thing, which I do not understand why it is still a thing, it just makes it very, very hard to do that. Even trying to do stuff like 2 burst teams, with all the gimmicks they're throwing us, like silence, that action bind ability, the chain lock for 5 turns, damage limiter, special limiter, and like it's just the content that they're giving us to try and output these big damage teams over multiple turns, it just isn't there. Now, there was a tweet out by a Japanese player who was breaking the damage threshold and breaking the damage cap, but as of what we've seen in Super Boss, it is still at that 99.9% reduction. We're hitting for like 4 trillion on Super Boss. However, all we can see is that 1 trillion damage. So I just don't understand why it still exists in this day and age when we have all of these Ferraris and Lamborghinis and big damage characters. And in the big damage event, we can't even let them fly. We can't let them drive. And we're stuck behind a wall that is just 1 trillion damage. It saddens me, because like Super Boss Kizuna, even still with all this crap, like it's still my favorite game mode. I do love the concept of building these big teams, seeing the big damage, and even though we know that the cap is there, like we can still see how much damage we're actually doing, and I do actually enjoy that a lot. Big numbers makes me happy. Big numbers makes lots of people happy when it comes to this particular game. So I can understand the frustration, but also take it as it is. We're all in the same boat, and you just got to try and make the fun out of it. As for this final boss, if you have Dory Brogy, it makes it very, very easy. I would highly recommend bringing a friend captain Dory Brogy to make it nice and simple. Blind removal is great if you have like Tantani Shanks or Hiyori in the middle row, and then removing defense up with a character like Roger or Kinemon Dendro can work very, very nicely. But if you just bring a friend captain, Giants, you are going to get in a position where you can give yourself all the orbs you need for the hunger, you can remove the burn, you can do all that fun stuff. Plus, you give yourself a super tandem as well, and you can hit very, very hard because you have type advantage here. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, but like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Let me know in the comment section how you guys are going in this Super Boss Kizuna. Are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it? Do you think there's buffs? Do you think they've gotten better? But look, it's a bit of a shame because they have come out and declared that they are doing all this great stuff to make Kizuna great again, when realistically, all I can see is the same old shit. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do all that good stuff, like I said, but most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Late! Oh, went up to 17 tickets now at level 103. Interesting.